Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okello, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing session of the Daily African Proverbs. My name is Simon Javan Okello. I'm in Seattle, Washington, and I'm here for the Daily African Proverbs with another amazing proverb that says, a wise person does not fall the same hill twice. A wise person does not fall the same hill twice. And, every day we gather here and we share these beautiful African proverbs with the hopes that we can help preserve, protect and preserve our culture, one proverb at a time, and also with the hopes that we can gather some African wisdom to face our day with. So we have a special guest here with me. I just want to introduce the wonderful Noga Solomon. And Noga was deeply involved with organizing Africa Day. Africa Day that we did here on Clubhouse was the biggest Africa Day celebration event this year. It was a 24-hour marathon with conversations and performances from various parts of the African continent and the diaspora happening for the entire 24-hour period. So it's really a privilege to be here with you, Noga, and I want you to share with us what your interpretation for today's proverb is. The proverb says, a wise person doesn't fall the same hill twice. Thank you so much, Noga.
Hi, Simon. It's good to be, joining the African Father in America rooms this morning. It's very exciting. I'll start with my interpretation. So, when you fall down a hill, you kind of get to know the grooves and all of the slippery areas of it. And I guess my interpretation is once you fall down and you kind of get that experience, you know what step not to make so that you don't fall again. If you fall down, you don't want to continue making the same mistake, because then you'll have to climb up the mountain all over again. That's my interpretation. You get to understand how the hill works, how the mountain works, and you know where to step and you know where not to step next time.
It's amazing. You've simplified it in a really gentle way. That what caught me, is how you described the way that you don't forget the details that you felt as you are falling down. Yeah, it's great. And I want to welcome everyone who is joining us on Clubhouse. We have an amazing group of people, from Steve, Loic, Rajinda, Maketa, and we have a brother here, Osaka, as well as Tasha, Nancy, Mala, Easy, and also Feline. So Noga, you'll put the volume of your iPad as low as possible so that there's no feedback. Perfect. And Mala and also Feline and Easy, I want to invite you all to join us on stage. And also I would love for you to follow Noga, who is now on stage on Clubhouse with us. And if you're joining us on YouTube, thank you so much. We do this every morning. And in the recent weeks, I have been inviting special guests to join us so that we dissect these proverbs, also in the presence of people that we love and appreciate, and we want to applaud for the work that they're doing. And so if you're meeting Noga for the first time, she's just an amazing leader. She's a young Ghanaian, Palestinian American with a focus in arts. She's an entrepreneurship and building the relationship between Africans and African Americans. That's what her passion is. And she's been active in the movements for Black Lives in Milwaukee, and Minneapolis, and is aiming to use her platform, New Alikubelan Society, to bring community and economic strength to the diaspora with the power of unity and grassroots support. Wow. And I want you to talk about, just take us back to your upbringing, Noga, because I feel that you are one of the most generous people, one of the most hardworking people I've met this year. And just the way, once you put your mind into something, you ensure that it happens, has really, inspired me. So I want you to share with us a time in your childhood, that it drives the person that you are today. Sometime when you are 8 to 12, paint for us a picture of something that happened or something that you encountered that still drives the person that you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just some background. I came to this country when I was 2 with my mother, and she was a very hard worker. So I think that's where I get it from. But around that time of my life, I was, we had just moved to Franklin, which is a suburb right outside of Milwaukee,
I
and
know. I
yeah.
think there's still some feedback, so let's try with you not being on Clubhouse for a moment, so that we get what you're saying so well, because it's so important.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Okay. So around that time we actually moved from the city center, to a little suburb just outside of Franklin. And it's kind of funny. Around that time, I got very strong-willed. I really missed the school that I went to, and I begged my mom to let me go back because I did not like. I was like, I just want to be back with my, the people that I grew up with. So instead of going to the school that was local to me, we woke up earlier, and I took an hour bus ride to go back to Milwaukee so I could go to school with my, with the people that I grew up in the school with. And I think that it really does speak to the person that I am, because I really do love my tribe, my community that I build, and my relationships with my, the people that I love and care about. And it was more important to me to be able to go to school with them than to, have a shorter, more time in the morning. So woke up an hour and a half earlier, almost 2 hours earlier, just so I could make it to Milwaukee. And we made it there with my little sister. We both took the bus ride back to, Milwaukee and back home every day to go to school. Just so I could be by my people, the people that I loved, and being comfort. And so that's probably an experience that I would say, that was a moment that kind of snapped in my life, and I was like, you know what, I gotta decide what's more important to me, some extra time in the morning, or being able to spend the days with the people that I grew up with and care about. So yeah.
Thank you. I have so many questions to ask, but I want to keep going with the questions that we had lined up, because it seems like this is also why you're able to juggle so many things at the same time, because I know that you've been involved with New Africa Society, and I just want to learn all of it. Share with us, the work that you're currently doing in the community. I think you are also at an exhibition right now as you speak, right? There's something you're doing right now that I would love for you to speak to, but just give us a little bit of where you are with all the amazing initiatives you're doing in the community. Let's say this year, just give us a little recap of what you've been up to, and then share with us where you are in this moment and what's going on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started New Africa Society last year, and the reason I started it was because in the wake of the movements for Black Lives after the passing of George Floyd, um, I just became very active. I also lost my grandfather around that time, which is the necklace I'm wearing today because today is the opening of the pop-up shop, and I'll get into that. But yeah, after something really woke up inside of me, and I just became very, very passionate, um, to move that, push the narrative forward and connect the worlds because growing up as an African in Milwaukee, I got to experience both sides of these two aspects of the diaspora, and I became very passionate about connecting the worlds, and I just took to the streets, and I was, doing a lot of work, and people were requesting, my help with things, and I was like, you know what, I should just make an organization out of this. And I named it New Africa Society, but I've changed the name to New Alkebulan Society because just after some research and history, learning that Alkebulan is the original, what we called our home before they gave us the name Africa, which is still a beautiful name, but just going back to the complete origins. Um, this year we did Africa Day with you, and that was so exciting. It was a marathon for real, putting it together in a month, but we did it, and it was a beautiful day. And I think about that day all the time, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe we did it, man. I can't wait for next year. But last year, we were active in the, getting the stories of the big three in Milwaukee, Joel Acevedo. Oh my goodness, it's so early in the rising, but um, we had, just fighting for justice for people who were wronged in our city. And then I did work with an organization by the name of Black is Beautiful in Milwaukee that was started by a gentleman named Webster X. He's a very talented rapper, artist in the city. But we put together a bike ride, and it was about 3,000 bikers in the city. And I orchestrated the caravan that was protecting everybody. Um, that was a huge accomplishment, man. It was intense, intense to say the least. So yeah, now we're kind of moving forward. Kind of took a step back and really are planning on how we're going to move forward in 2022, and a part of that includes just the economic aspect of it, which I started a West African boutique to kind of teach on the tradition of waste beads that my tribe, kind of the origins of waste beads that my tribe created. And I come from the Ga tribe. And from that, I was very moved to create a digital marketplace. And so I was, going on the plans for that, and kind of took a step back, like maybe I should, do a physical store, just before we kind of move to that next level. So we created Acuaba Gifts, and it's a celebration of cultural heritage, and also to put a spotlight on craft makers, of handcrafted goods. All through us. We're being hosted at a space called Martha in River West in Milwaukee, and this is a beautiful space. The lady who owns it, her name is Shawnette, and she created the space for her daughter, her late daughter who passed away. But we honor her spirit in this space, and we're putting together put together a 6-day workshop that's focused on healing and just cultural education and just giving that extra, support to makers of handcrafted goods. So we've got vendors that'll be coming in throughout the week to set up and sell their goods, and we have workshops that range from talking about astrology to talking about the story of Akua and her child. And yeah, I'm very excited. As you can see, we've got our photo set up here. I worked tirelessly last night putting together all these floral arrangements, but I'm so excited for it to open up today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're working so hard. You're working so hard and you're accomplishing so much. I hope you're proud of yourself and, and you're told enough that what you're doing is very revolutionary. We need a lot more, young people like you, especially taking bold moves like you're taking, because, it's important. And, I'm just behind you. If there's anything I can do to support you, let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a really amazing community of people who are with us on Clubhouse right now, also listening to this conversation. And I want you to join us on YouTube. Noga and I are live. I just added the link to the conversation at the top of the room. I pinned it. There's a way on Clubhouse that you can now let the people in the room know what you're talking about, and pin the link at the top of the room. So we just did that and it looks really beautiful. But Noga, your work is revolutionary, and I feel that people in the room need to also get involved. So I want you to talk about how people can actually support you right now, with what you're doing right now, and also online, if there are ways that people can connect with you and also support your work. Just take a few minutes and share that before we continue with our conversation. I just want to make sure that I give you that opportunity. And again, congratulations.
Thank you. And we are kind of, we're growing the digital presence. I do have a website for Acuaba Gifts, which is the waist bead for the waist beads. But for Acuaba Gifts, if you guys want to stay tuned, you can follow us on the Instagram. I have the Instagram linked on Clubhouse. And then we also have a Facebook page as well. So if you're more on Facebook, we do have that as well. And it's just Acuaba Gifts, AKWAABAGIFTS, and you'll get all the updates there. We'll be making big moves in 2022. I've got a digital marketplace coming with a platform, a sales platform that hasn't really been done yet. So I will keep that under wraps and let it be a surprise. But yeah, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and you'll be able to keep up with all of our new updates.
Thank you so much. I love the waist beads, by the way. I just needed to speak about them, and they're so beautiful. I've always loved them. There's a tribe in Kenya called the Giriama. They are from the coastal part of Kenya, and they are they wear those. That's, at least in Kenya, that's where I started seeing them in pictures, and then meeting people from that region in person and seeing that they embrace them. So it's really great to see you also, sharing, that culture with, everyone in the diaspora. So all the sisters in the house, please make sure you're following Noga and support the work she's doing. And also all the brothers. Noga, where are the waist waist jewels for the brothers?
Yeah, we're getting into that. We're going to be talking about that one on this Wednesday, because I have had some questions about that. So we'll be talking about that in depth this Wednesday. But really, the origins of the waist beads, they at least my tribe, when we adorn our women, it's a celebration of the womb. It's a celebration of femininity, and it's a celebration of the sacral region, the sacral chakra, and its manifesting qualities. It creates life. The womb creates life. So we like to adorn it with very, very beautiful gems to remind people of its importance.
Oh man, I just love now going even deeper, because a lot of the time when you see a beautiful woman wearing the waist beads, that's all you see. But when you learn what you just shared with us, then you understand even much more meaning about it, and there's probably even many more meanings around it. I want to talk more about this sometime, because there are also necklaces that people wear in Africa. There are also marks that people cuts that people have, earrings, not earrings but piercings, and like in Kenya we have this tribe called the Kalenjin, that their ears, there's a big portion of their ear that is taken out, and then there, a huge part of their ear hangs, down. And I've seen people here in the US, there's a community like that too, So these are important things to talk about, just the way the Proverbs are important for us to talk about, But I do want to thank you all who have joined us on stage, on Clubhouse: Easy, Feline, Mala, and Lord, and David. And also, before I forget, I see Mala is here. Mala is with us on YouTube, and it really, really means a lot that I shared this link on Clubhouse, and quite a few of you have joined us on YouTube. So thank you so much. And Mala, I really, really appreciate the support. Lord, nice to see you, my brother. It's been a minute. I can't wait to hear your voice. And David, in about 9 minutes, we are going to turn off hand raising, and those who are on stage will be able to just share their comments and feedback to our special guest, and share your interpretation of the proverb. And then Noga is going to close us out. So in about 8 minutes, we will be turning off fundraising. I encourage you to join us on stage at this time if you want to, contribute. And also, I encourage you to join us on YouTube. The link that will take you to our live stream is right at the top of the room. And I really, really want you to, connect with Noga. And, after this, we will be able to share a link to her website in the description for this video on YouTube. And also let me know in the comments if you want me to have her back again next week on Saturday. We will do it again, Since I started doing this series where I'm having guests here, I've ended up having like correspondents and a community of people that are showing up the same day every week. For example, Easy MB joined me last Monday, and he's joining me next Monday again. And then this Thursday I was joined by Gogo Rutendo Ngara, who is a renowned spiritual leader originally from Zimbabwe, but she moved to South Africa. She joined me this Thursday. She's joining me again next Thursday. And as you can see, Easy is an artist, Noga is an entrepreneur and activist. Gogo is a spiritual leader, and on Tuesday and Wednesday I'll be hosting people from the city of Seattle. We will be talking about food justice. So this platform is really for everyone. So if you have something important that you're doing that you want to share with the community, and you also want to show your face and support the Daily African Proverbs, I would love that, so that we can really deepen the foundation of this movement. So Noga, I want to pass you the microphone so that you can share with people just one more time how they can, whether they can go and buy something on your website now, or how, if they're nearby, they can show up and support the work you're doing now, and also how they can directly connect with you if they want to collaborate. And then after that, we are going to hear from Easy and Feline and Mala and Lord and David, as well as Anne-Marie and anyone else who joins us on stage in the next 6 minutes. Thank you so much. Noga, the mic is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys want to be, keep up with the updates of Acuaba Gifts, I have the Instagram link to my clubhouse. So if you go on my profile, you'll be able to follow it. And we also have a Facebook page if you would like to follow on Facebook, Facebook as well, or instead. Right now the pop-up is physical. So if you're in Milwaukee or if you're in Chicago, it's an hour away. Yeah, we're right in River West. There's some information on the location, right on the information on Instagram and Facebook. There's a post that gives the address. Otherwise, if you guys would like to, support, if you're not
Hey Noga,
gonna be here,
what's your Instagram handle?
it's Acuaba Gifts, AKWAABAGIFTS, and yeah. So that's the Instagram and the Facebook handle.
Perfect.
And the website will be coming soon. But we do have an Eventbrite, so if you would like to support and make a donation, I can put the Eventbrite link in the bio as well if you guys would like to support that way. But otherwise, follow works just as well because we're just trying to spread the word.
Right.
But yeah, this pop-up is physical. So
Right. Thank you so much. And
soon will be digital.
are you like how many other people are there with you? How many other people are involved with the pop-up? I'm just asking out of curiosity.
Yeah, so we've got 3 vendors who are coming to set up today. All of them are women of color, and then we have a vendor coming to set up tomorrow, and then another vendor who's actually going to be leading a workshop for Dia de los Muertos, and she's Mexican. Her heritage is from Mexico. So she's very excited to come and share her traditions with us, and we're excited to learn about her traditions. So as you can see, like we do have the focus on, the African American diaspora, but we also, really want to open the platform to collaborate culturally so we all can learn each other's cultures and celebrations and traditions and just gain an appreciation for all of the beautifulness of it.
Hey, Noga. So I've been given a suggestion by Delise, who is also joining us on YouTube, and she wanted me to add the information on the YouTube chat so that people who are watching can also support. So could you just give me the website? Is it Acuaba Gifts?
The website is coming soon.
Okay.
But we do have the Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, and just give me the Facebook one more time so that I can add it. I can add the actual link to the chat. And forgive me for those who are. Okay, go ahead.
That's okay. It's if you look up Acuaba Gifts, AKWAABA Gifts, GIFTS on Facebook, you should be able to see it. And I think for Facebook, you just do facebook.com/Acuaba Gifts. It should pop up.
Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah. Perfect. I will send the link to the chat here, and thank you all for being here with us. I want to now just take the opportunity to welcome everyone who just joined: MK and Mazi and Jihad and Nazdi and Ahadi and Maketa. I want to pass the microphone to Easy so that Easy can also just briefly introduce himself. Easy, feel free to talk about last Monday and what you're looking forward to this Monday. I haven't sent you the proverb yet. I'll do that as soon as possible. And also, Easy is an artist. Easy, I would love for you to just talk about where people can check out your art, and then give us your interpretation of today's proverb. Feel free, if you have any feedback for Noga and you want to connect, feel free to also share that now. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Simon. As always, it's a pleasure to be a part of this very beautiful and great club, and just being in the presence of all these lovely people. First of all, I just want to say maximum respect to Noga for all the amazing work that she's doing. It's splendid. It's very inspiring. In regards to the conversation that we had, on Monday, I think it was really eye-opening for me. Us having that conversation, I'm looking forward already to Monday. Of course, I'm still waiting for the proverb, but I'm already looking forward to Monday. And I think, as I told you, I feel like it's like really important for us to continue having such conversations, and not just have conversations for the sake of having conversations, but because you get to see what comes out of conversations like these. There's a lot that comes aside just the interpretations. There's a lot of connection that is happening within people, and I think that makes us grow as individuals, and makes the African continent grow, not just within Africa, but also in the diaspora. Like people out there in other continents get to we get, as Africans, we get to be more visible to the world, and the beautiful things that we can offer the rest of the world. Um, in regards to today's proverb, so when I saw it, the first the first thing that came to my mind is, so I always like to do these comparisons. First thing that came to my mind is a Swahili proverb that says, and I'm going to interpret it to English for everyone here who does not understand Swahili. There's a Swahili saying that says, kufanya kosa sio kosa ila kurudia kosa. Okay, kufanya kosa sio kosa ila kurudia kosa. And the direct translation to that proverb is, making a mistake or doing a wrong is not a wrong, but repeating the wrong is the wrong. So in essence, basically comparing the two proverbs with today's proverb is that, as Noga explained earlier, is that you are expected that, like, after you've done a mistake, the expectation is that hopefully you've gained some lessons or some skills, some experience, some wisdom of some sort. So then you are not expected to continue making the same mistake again and again and again. So that's my simple interpretation of it. You guys can check out my work and the work that I'm doing. My Instagram and my Twitter handles are right on my profile. If you just go to my profile right now, you'll see my Instagram and my Twitter handles, and you can just go directly there and follow me on those platforms and see the kind of work that I'm doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, my brother Easy. And now we are going to go to the amazing Feline Keitano, who is, a gifted poet and author and orator all the way from Belize. Feline, share with us what your thoughts are. If you have any feedback for Noga, feel free. And also, if you have something that you're working on that you want us to know about, also feel free. The proverb for today is, a wise person doesn't fall down the same hill twice. Thank you so much.
Greetings. The proverb, what came to mind about this proverb is about lessons. So for me, it was about, it came to me as this, which is that even if you do fall down that same hill, you will learn a different lesson as you fall down the second time. Because you likely have learned from going up the second time that, okay, let me go in a different direction the second time to avoid that same mistake. And even if I do fall, it will not be for the same reason I fell the first time. So that's the way I saw it. It's just about lessons learned and ensuring that you don't repeat the same mistake, that you don't disregard all the things that come for you to learn any lessons. I'm blessed, I always say, because my lessons are so painful that it is years, in fact, sometimes decades before I might fall down that same mountain. Like I said, though, is the learning. What I learned the second time around is actually different than what I learned the first time. Feline here, I'm done speaking.
Thank you so much, Feline. I'm grateful for your words of wisdom, and for always just gifting us with your powerful voice as well. Thank you so much for being here. Hey Mala, I'll pass you the microphone so that you can also share with us, a few words of wisdom, any feedback to Noga, and also, your thoughts on today's proverb. The proverb is right at the top of the room. It says, "A wise person doesn't fall down the same hill twice." And also, Mala, feel free to talk about respectfully. You've been doing an amazing job with it, and I just want you to share. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, Simon, Noga, Izzy, Feline, Lord, David, and everyone in the room. I just love this space. And Noga, it's just, to hear your voice, but to have this opportunity to just see your face. I know you can't see mine, but just so proud, right? To see women, move in the marketplace, right? Like just culturally, we come from being market women, right? And so this idea that we can support one another and the things that we adorn ourselves with, the things that we gift one another, that there's a story in a story and it ties back to someone and something so beautiful as the entity that you're doing. So wishing you well on the pop-up shop and just with all that we'll cultivate now that we're coming into awareness about you and your company. So that's just beautiful. And as relates to the proverb, for me, it made me just reinterrogate the word wisdom. I'm really big on words. I mean, I'm not Feline, so I was a little nervous to go after my sister Feline being a poetess and just a wordsmith. But wisdom, the soundness of action or decision with regard to the application of experience, knowledge, and good judgment. And so it made me wrestle with the idea that perfection can be in opposition of wisdom, right? So this idea that if I'm moving about, running about, standing even, and I fall, I have failed because I fell, right? But if I'm present in the experience, the falling is there to teach me something that I can gain wisdom to move forward with. So it made me think about this idea that you can be excellent, and in excellence, you can be present to all that you encounter, right? But that perfection will have you focused on quote unquote what you see as failure, and then you are more than likely doomed to repeat it. And so I love what Feline offered, because even if we were, right, because we aren't perfect, to fall again, that there's more to glean from it. But that in wisdom, I can look at all that has happened, what it is there to teach and inform me, and use that to empower me to move differently, to move with wisdom. So this is Marla, and I'm complete.
Thank you so much. This is Simon speaking. Mala, I had to clip some of what you said and tweet it, because it's just beautiful. How you articulate today's proverb. And thank you again for your continued support and for all the tweets and promotion of this room. It's really, really important, and I just want you to know it's deeply appreciated. And now I want to introduce my brother Lord, who is a talented artist all the way from Ghana, but living in the diaspora in Canada, to be specific. Lord, thank you again for your support with Africa Day, and congratulations on all the amazing music that you're putting out. Share with us what your interpretation is. Our proverb for the day is, "A wise person doesn't fall down the same hill twice." But before you go, I want to give a shout out to Samantha Udondem, who is an amazing contributor to the Daily African Proverbs, and just a wonderful friend, and and also everyone in the room: Abdallah, Ken, Tim, Jihad, Nazdi, Ahadi, Makta, and Osaka, Karen, Roger, Daryl, Tasha, and David. Thank you all so much for being here. And of course, Marla and Feline and Easy and Noga. Lord, grab the mic and share with us, your thoughts on today's proverb and also just how you're doing and what you've been up to. Thanks a lot.
Hey Simon, can you hear me?
I hear you very well.
Yes, my brother. It's good to hear you.
Good to hear you.
Greetings, people. Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I'm glad I'm up this morning. My time is a bit off, and I actually came in to support Noga. Actually, I saw you were doing a thing with her, and I just came to show love because I think what she's doing is beautiful and amazing. So, Noga, big shout out to you. We talk much love. And hi to everybody. The proverb for today, I was just thinking about that, Simon. I think hi Marla, what you said about presence, it was resonating with me. Because I think the hill is it represents a lot of things in life as we know it, and sometimes the mistakes don't look the same, so you might not even be aware of it. And there's cycles that we all fall into without awareness. So I think a wise person doesn't fall down the same hill twice. It's just a message from our ancestors telling us to be present in life, so that we live and not just move through life, because without awareness, it's very easy to keep repeating mistakes and repeating cycles without even knowing it. And given our history, it's something that I think we all should be very, very present in our day-to-day lives in order to elevate and not just go through the days. Because that saying that um, everybody ages, but not everybody grows. It's something that stays with me. So I think that's what I gather from this, and it's a good message. So, Simon, thank you for hosting again. Amazing. I would take this for myself as my mantra for the day. So.
Man, thank you again so much. And listen, Lord, we are gathering everybody that was involved with Africa Day. We are going to be sharing the recordings from Africa Day with, with the whole village pretty soon. So connect with me so that we can ensure that you are involved, especially with the Ghana segment that you are leading. So thank you again for being here with us. Now I want to introduce David. So that David can also share with us, his thoughts about today's proverb, any feedback to Noga, and also, if you're working on something that you'd like for us to know, this is your moment. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon, and thank you, Noga. Nice to see you here and also hear from you. I've been actually um, following you on Instagram, and I just want to encourage you and appreciate what you're doing. So that's really great. When it comes to this proverb, what came to my mind immediately is about the growth mindset. I always see that in our situation, especially being Africans or people of African origin, sometimes we attach ourselves to scarcity. But what Noga is doing is a really good representation of how we should be thinking in terms of the growth mindset. I think believing in ourselves, in our self-worth, and making sure that we develop our skills and intelligence consistently, making sure that we see more of abundance in life in general is really so important for our community. Again, I work with the youth as well, and what I do is just to help them out, be able to discover their self-worth, and also be able to learn new things so that they can be able to understand the work or the jobs of the 21st century. So one thing also that came into my mind also that I wanted to share is we've seen a lot of times the systems that we've been working with, the systems of the 21st century. If you look at the school system, if you look at the governance system or the capital system, this system are failing us. And it's really just interesting that you see politicians and leaders doing the same things and expecting the same results. So it's really high time also as young people, as youth, to think about the system. How do we really fix it? How do we reset it? I come from a development background, and in Agile, they have a similar saying that you should you are allowed to make a mistake, but do not make the same mistake twice. Again, the emphasis is same. You can innovate, you can make mistake, but do not make that same mistake twice. Now, I think it is the same thing here that we should apply. If you look at, if you have ever climbed a mountain, for example, you will see that there is a path that has been constructed on that mountain. And that path is as a result of people following it and discovering the right path. So I just want to end on that note that this proverb should remind us of the system that is failing that we should fix. This proverb should also remind us that it's very important to look into the experiences and reconstruct our path so that we don't fall a victim of doing the same things and expecting the same results. Thank you, Simon, for bringing me up here, and also thank you, Noga, for the great work. I
Thank you
hand
so
over the
much,
mic to you.
David. I'm grateful for your presence as well. And I want Census to just share with us a few words before Noga shares, her closing remarks. But if you're just joining us, my name is Simon Ukelo. I am in Seattle, Washington, and I'm the host of the African Father in America podcast, where every day we broadcast a new African proverb. We share an African proverb across all social media platforms, and we come here on Clubhouse, we dissect the proverb, we share it on YouTube, where we are also live streaming as we speak. And today and the last few weeks, I have been inviting guests to join us, and so I have been hosting Noga Salomon on YouTube as my guest today. And if you are hearing about Noga for the first time, she's a young Ghanaian Palestinian American with a focus in arts, entrepreneurship, and building the relationship between Africans and African Americans. So follow her so that you can stay connected with her. And also, I just want to quickly, let you all know that Census is also going to speak about the current crisis in Sudan. There was a military coup recently, and Sudan just has it has challenges, but also Sudan is also the place with the most number of pyramids in the world. So there are beautiful things that Census can speak to about Sudan, and also the challenges. The history of Sudan and South Sudan is also something that, I would love for Census to highlight when we have a room that we will be having today in the Africa Day Club. So Census, please grab the mic, share with us how you're doing, your thoughts about this proverb, and also the room that we are planning later today. By the way, if you want to help us with that room, it's one of those advocacy type of rooms where we are looking for help to spread the word and make sure that we have people in the room so that we can, do a call to action on what people can do to support. So, Census, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Simon, and great to see the African Daily African Proverbs Club. Noga, really good to listen to you, and I just joined, but I know the talents that you have, so always proud of you. So I want to remind everyone that today, October 30th, the people, the citizens of Sudan, are protesting against a military coup. And to just help give a background, um, Sudan was once the largest country in Africa until, but then there was fighting in between the South and the main government in the North, which led to the independence of South Sudan. Even though that was the case in Sudan, there was still under Umar Bashir, who was a dictator that ruled for over 30 years, and he was finally removed during the revolution that we saw about 2 years ago. Following on from that, Sudan proceeded to set up a transitional government, and this revolution that happened was led by the people as well. They followed to set up a transitional government, and within the transitional government, they have a system of the different parties who are part of it, and basically trying to forge a country for everyone. And it was led by Prime Minister Hamdok. But through that whole process, there were still people from Umar Bashir camp who still existed within the system, and some of them have not been happy with how things are going. Plus, they have other support from other countries in the Gulf who support their initiative. And so Sudan has just been going through a whole lot of issues. First, the contract that they had with South Sudan after separation, the financial support that they were given ended this year. Secondly, a few months ago, there was a group that was believed to be instigated by Bashir's ally, blocked Port Sudan, and Port Sudan is the main port that brings things into Sudan and exports the petroleum from the south to the Red Sea. And there was a blockade that happened. They couldn't get anything in or anything out, which just made the financial situation, the economic situation very dire. But of course, once Sudan moved into the transitional government, they received a lot of support from the West in terms of canceling their debt and giving them funding, as well as removing certain sanctions from Sudan because Sudan was under terrorist sanction, removing most of these sanctions so they're able to do business. And so the newly formed entity of the country started taking form, and people started using the new freedoms that they have and really just trying to leap forward from where they had been stuck within the 30 years. But sadly, the main General Burhan, who heads a section of the Transitional Council, decided to really just take the Prime Minister hostage, and all these events are happening within the week. He was taken hostage, and the story that the general was pushing was that they were doing this to stop the country from ending in civil war. But the truth is, it's a coup. It's by all means a definition of a coup. And once this happened, people started coming out in the streets protesting against Prime Minister Hamdok being taken hostage, protesting against the military, fighting, continuing. But they went onto the streets. Some of them have been killed, others were imprisoned, over hundreds have been injured. And the people, the citizens, the voice of the people all chose to come out. A large number of them chose to come out and fight this because they have reached a level where it's either the end of us or not, but we are going into it with our lives. And so they organized across all the various countries that have a large Sudanese population to have protests today, October the 30th. Now, within this week, the government has shut down the internet, shut down various modes of communication, and my understanding is that today everything was shut down. So it's really very difficult when you get any clips. It's really because some people have other access or VIP access for them to be able to send some of these clips. The demonstrations are happening, the protests are happening, people are on the streets in the different towns in Sudan, because they have vowed to never fall under a military regime again. The danger of military regime is it ends up becoming a dictatorship, and once they hold the position, it's difficult for it to ever change into civilian. Following this, Sudan has been expelled from the African Union. The United States pulled funding off from Sudan. And the UN representative, the US pulled funding from Sudan. The UN representative in Sudan has been trying to have talks with General Burhan, who is the main person heading the coup, to push him to release people that have been arrested. Some of them are activists, some of them are ordinary citizens, some of them are people that he considers a threat. And this is really important that the voices of the people be heard, because I believe the only change that can ever happen is when the people take back their voice and understand their power in how a country is run. And this is where the people of Sudan have reached. They are going to fight it every way they can. I am hoping that there is more international support to support the citizens, but then also really pushing to have a lot of dialogue with General Burhan, because it's important that we do not let the country fall into the same situation again. When you have military regimes, it's difficult to really think in a peaceful manner to set up a country that values each individual, and to push for a lot of change. It's a big fight because Bashir's supporters are still in the system, and so I wanted to bring this up to everyone here and to let you all know that we want to have some kind of discussion on the African Club, just to give people different perspective and have a call of action and try to highlight this. I think the most important is when it's the people's voices that is pushing for the change. That's when you know that this is legit, versus when it's a military entity. And this is the most that I can put forward. Thank you, Simon, for giving me this time. This is Census. I'm complete.
Thank you so much, Census. This is Simon speaking. After everything you shared, there's a question for you from Delise, on YouTube. Delise joins us on YouTube every day, and I really, really appreciate that. And also Mala's joined us there. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. And I'm also grateful to everyone who is with us on Clubhouse. If you want to join us on YouTube, the link is right on top of the room in Clubhouse. Just click it and you'll be able to join us. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And also check out the replays, from the previous conversations. You'll see some of the guests that we've been hosting over the last few weeks. I'm just so grateful that Clubhouse has this now, so that it can be easy for you to check out the lives on YouTube that we do, and you can also connect directly with some of the amazing leaders that we meet. Census, so the Liz is asking, is it possible to have you as a guest and perhaps do a proverb around war, or one that educates us about war, so that we can show support for our brothers and sisters? That's a question for you, Census.
I would be happy to highlight, but I want to try and see if I can get Sudanese voices to do it, if it's possible for me to have someone who is from Sudan to do it. The Sudanese group on Clubhouse have a lot of rooms. There's a large group that is on Clubhouse, but because of this current internet shutdown, they are not able to come online. So we haven't really seen them for the past days. But there are some Sudanese that are based in the US and in Europe. And my aim is to see if I can get some of them to be the one to have these conversations with. I can give my perspective, but I would rather have theirs. Thank you. So I am happy to do a room with you, Simon, to discuss some of that. But more than anything, I want to see if we can have more people from there. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that, Sensors, and I definitely want to have you as a guest, in the near future. So just let me know, and we'll have you live on YouTube with us, like we're doing with Noga right now. I want to thank you all for joining us. We are coming towards the end of our conversation today, and Sensors just took a little bit of time to share with us what's going on in Sudan currently, and we are going to be doing a room later on today in the next few hours. So follow Sensors, and also DM her if you want to be involved with putting together that urgent clubhouse event around the current situation in Sudan. I want to pass the microphone to Nkem. Nkem Jika is an amazing, co-creator of the Daily African Proverbs, and I want to invite her to just share her interpretation of today's proverb. And Nkem, if you can, share with everyone how they can be guests as well, how they can connect with us so that they can be, our guests here in the Daily African Proverbs, and also how, like, some of the support we are looking for, because we can't do this on our own. So thank you again for being here. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Simon. Yes, today's proverb, my interpretation of it, a wise person doesn't go down this fall down the same hill twice, excuse me. And my interpretation of it is just applying wisdom in situations. So we collect knowledge, but actually applying that knowledge is wisdom. And so I think it's important to not only learn, but to apply what we learn. And so being aware of situations that haven't produced fruit in the past, and not doing the same thing twice. I think about that quote that says doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is like insanity. And so that's my interpretation of today's proverb. And to get involved, we're looking for people to help us with sharing about the room before, during, and after the Daily African Proverb conversation. So if you're interested in helping in any capacity within social media, feel free to message me in my back channel, or in the back channel, and I will be sure to reach out to you to connect. But we're looking for people to help us on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, and retweeting links that are already on those platforms like Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, and sharing the content from that page, from your personal page, or just from a page that you wouldn't mind sharing the Daily African Proverb with. So yeah, I'm literally just had a late night, so I was up doing my hair. I know, like, you all care about that. So I literally just woke back up. So I'm a little foggy. So I'm hoping I made sense. So this is in Kim, and I'm passing the mic back to you, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you, Nkem. You made total sense. In fact, a big portion of our conversation today has been about waist beads, and so beauty has been the theme of the last 24 hours for all of us, it seems. Well, I'm grateful, and it's been an amazing 1 hour together, and Noga was the thread that was bringing all of us together today. So we learned about her, Noga's interpretation of the proverb today. A wise person doesn't fall down the same hill twice. And then we also heard from everyone on stage. We were joined by an amazing community of people on YouTube. by the way, follow the African Father in America Club if you're on Clubhouse. That way you can be amongst the first to know whenever we host this room. And also follow my YouTube channel, which is the link that is pinned on top of the Clubhouse room, so that whenever we go live with the Daily African Proverbs, you can join us. From time to time, whenever I host people, other guests that are outside of the Daily African Proverbs, if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you can easily also be notified. And also on the YouTube side of things, if you've been tuned in, or if you'll be watching this later on, make sure you leave me with your comment so that I know what your interpretation of this proverb is. And now Noga is going to close us out. Noga, just share with us how today's session was, and if there's anything I didn't ask you that you want everyone to hear. And then after that, we are going to wrap up for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simon. And I know I've been having a little bit of technical difficulty today, so but we're still here.
Nobody on Clubhouse knew, only, and also those on YouTube might have not known that we were having some technical difficulties, and it just happened actually as I was saying that nobody knew, so you all know. But we just lost Noga, and I think because she's literally at an exhibit. She's doing an exhibit, and she's done a pop-up. It's called, I think the right word is, she's doing a pop-up with a number of other people, and she took the time to join us for today's conversation, even though she's at a place where she should be focusing on the pop-up. But we were able to just create awareness about the work that she's doing, and I can't wait for you all to learn more about her. For me, this platform is about also giving wings and just fueling other people's visions and ideas, especially people of African descent across the world. So I'm grateful for your time, and I'm grateful for your love and support, and that's going to mark the end of our program for today. I am truly, truly grateful. Have a beautiful day. See you on Monday. I will not be here tomorrow for the Daily African Proverbs, but later on today we will be tweeting about the Sudan event that is being led by Census. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.
African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. African Father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze.
You are listening to African